I didn't know where she was, and I'd searched for her in the rubble. But she must have been forced back to where she worked by the tsunami. She was found trapped between the machines at the bathhouse where she worked. When they found her, I went to where our eldest, a 12-year-old son, had been evacuated, and taught him how his mother had. I was open with him, telling him that she'd died while trying to get people out. With my daughter, though, I have to say, I couldn't quite bring myself to tell her.
It is one of the tragedies of modern times. Following a quake so powerful it knocks the earth off its axis, a tsunami leaves tens of thousands speared dead. Parts of Japan shift 10 feet out to sea. Parts of the coast drop over 3 feet. Known for sweeping away anything in its path, it is a natural hazard that has no mercy.
There's nothing to stop it moving inland, and so it can move inland 6-7 kilometers without being impeded.
There's not much to slow it down, and because the wavelength of the tsunami is so big, it's not going to stop until it reaches some sort of high ground, and it'll just keep on coming. It's kind of a growing realization that it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Tsunamis can be generated when the seafloor abruptly deforms and vertically displaces overlying water. Tectonic earthquakes are the most common kind of earthquake that are associated with the Earth's crustal deformation, resulting in water displacement owing to the vertical component of movement involved.
Tsunami is a series of waves caused by submarine earthquake with vertical movement of the seafloor. Most tsunamis occur in the Pacific Ocean, which is surrounded by high seismicity belts called the Rings of Fire, where most earthquakes occur. A tsunami propagates in a deep ocean with a very high speed. It travels as fast as a commercial jet, but the amplitude is small, so the people on a ship or a boat may not feel the tsunami. But when the tsunami is come close to the coast, it slows down with decrease of the water depth to a speed like a moving of a car. But the amplitude will increase rapidly, so the water may move inland and cause serious damage.
Hong Kong, though facing problems of its own, has been a safe haven from the risk of tsunamis. But not every nation is as fortunate as ours.
The chance of Hong Kong being affected by the tsunami is small because the landmass of Taiwan and the Philippines may act as shelter to reduce the energy of the tsunami coming from the Pacific Ocean.
One of the countries that is under the persistent threat of tsunamis attacking lies just across the East China Sea. Japan lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, in which 80% of the world's earthquakes and tsunamis occur. And being one of the most disaster-aware nations in the world, they have spent several decades developing mitigation strategies. There are currently over 4,000 seismometers installed throughout Japan. Japan has taken the integrated tsunami mitigation strategy, which consists of structural measures such as tsunami walls and constructing tsunami gathering floors in all buildings, as well as non-structural measures such as frequent tsunami drills, educating school children, and early warning systems.
Well, Japan is near the seismic zone where the tsunami may hit the coast within a few minutes. Therefore, the Japan Meteorological Agency (JMA) may issue tsunami warning if tsunami-genic earthquake is detected off the coast of Japan. They also have something called the Early Earthquake Warning System, which provides the advanced announcement of the intensity of the earthquake and the arrival time of the earthquake. This information is very useful to the people because they can do early evacuations.
The 2011 Japanese Tohoku earthquake and tsunami was one of the most recent hydraulical natural disaster that has struck the Asian Pacific region.
Well, the Sumatra earthquake in 2004 with magnitude 9.0 generated the tsunami across the Indian Ocean, and the Tohoku earthquake in 2011 with magnitude 9.0 also generated tsunami across the Pacific Ocean. They both also caused serious damage and casualty to the coast. The Tohoku tsunami even caused the nuclear accident.
The source of the disaster lay 1,000 kilometers off the coast. Beneath 6 kilometers of water, the Earth was distorting, a vast, slow-motion collision. The Earth's crust is made of several continent-sized slabs of rock, tectonic plates. Japan lies on the boundary between these plates.
The whole upper plate behaves just basically like a rubber block. It just compresses and like a spring like this, and when the earthquake happens, it springs back.
The sudden upward flip of such a huge slab of rock lifted a 6-kilometer deep mass of water upwards to the surface of the sea. Shockwaves radiated out. The fastest, known as P waves, traveled at 6 kilometers a second. Japan's detection systems picked them up instantly. Within seconds, before anyone realized what was going on, automatic warnings flashed across the country. A computer-generated announcement even interrupted a Japanese parliament broadcast.
The effects of the disaster were devastating. After the tsunami, the Japanese National Police Agency reported a confirmed 15,000 deaths, over 6,000 injuries, and over 2,500 people missing across 20 prefectures. The earthquake and tsunami also caused extensive damages to over 1 million buildings, and heavy damage to roads and railways as well. It caused nuclear accidents, primarily the level 7 meltdowns at all 3 reactors in the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant complex, and residents within 20 kilometers were evacuated. The Japanese government managed to set up shelters within 24 hours of the hit. The International Charter of Space and Major Disasters allowed diverse satellite imagery of affected regions to be readily shared with rescue and aid organizations. Early estimates placed insured losses from the earthquake alone at US $25 billion. Though the risk of a tsunami hitting Hong Kong is not high, the catastrophic events that have taken place in Tohoku has definitely raised the level of vigilance that Hong Kong takes towards tsunamis. With the developed warning system, the government is prepared to work in liaison with the Hong Kong Observatory in the rare case that a tsunami happens to hit Hong Kong.
Well, we will receive the message from the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, and we will also keep cold watch to the sea level recorded by the monitoring station over the Pacific Ocean, South China Sea, and in Hong Kong. So if there is a tsunami occur and may hit Hong Kong, Hong Kong Observatory will issue the tsunami warning.
Hong Kong and even the densest areas of Japan managed to survive the hazard unscathed. But next time we might not be as lucky. It's very difficult for science to protect against earthquakes and tsunamis. Yet, although we can't stop them from happening, we can't prevent it, but we definitely can prepare for it.